haven't really seen each other in a long time.
We haven't.
I miss you, cousin. I love you.
I really do love you. I'm sorry.
I really do, seriously, for real. Like, this is a genuine one right now.
This is a genuine. I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to touch your titty.
Yes, you did.
I really didn't.
Yes, you did.
I did.
I love you.
I love her.
No, I'm being serious. I'm not doing this for the
I
recording.
love you too.
I'm trying to be serious.
I'm being genuine.
You always do weird stuff.
That's not weird to look into someone's eyeballs.
It is when you like.
I'm not doing that.
I was looking at one of these things that I watched and was talking about how to like, when you're talking to people, like engage and make eye contact, but they were like, also know when to break away.
Because sometimes it can get weird when somebody's and you're like.
Anyway, welcome back to Cousin Chit Chat. It's Positive Wednesday. So you know y'all need some positivity in your life.
What's going on with the body
Movement, things like that.
Leave that in there too.
We'll leave that in.
So we know it has been a long time
since we did a Positive Wednesday.
but mainly because you motherfuckers wasn't really appreciating the positive frequency
You guys gotta
we
get in
was
the
on.
vortex, get in the frequency,
Or get the fuck
and
on.
get the energy.
Or get the fuck on. Hiya! Hiya!
Okay?
Get the fuck
Because
on.
the energy with the positive energy
It's
was
like really low.
low.
And we just
It's all
don't
time
want
low.
to. We don't want to accept the fact that our subscribers are some negative Nancy's.
And we don't think you guys are negative Nancy's, but
But if
from
you
the
are,
judgment of the videos and the analytics,
you don't want to be positive.
you guys don't want to be positive. And
And we said, we're not going to waste this positivity energy on you motherfuckers. Just kidding. Cut that out.
that's why we're back.
With the
Guess what?
positive.
You guys need to be positive. And so we want to talk about how do we remain positive in the everyday hustle and bustle and with the negative things that we deal with in our daily life, because we deal with negative bullshit. However, we keep it together.
Period.
Because you gotta keep it together.
The most important thing with remaining positive in the day-to-day life is being intentional.
Yeah.
And knowing that positivity is just like anything else. You don't wake up and just feel positive. You don't wake up like, it's like a good day. You have to like when you
I'm late on my bills, but I'm fucking happy.
yeah, that's not realistic. So, to live in a positive, grateful space, you have to first place yourself there. So that is how I maintain positive. I'm very intentional about being positive. Like, it's almost gotten to the point where I think I have to like kind of redo my whole like situation, because now my body knows when I wake up, and I think I'm kind of living right now out of my subconscious or the subconscious mind, because soon as I realize I'm like, I'm grateful for this, thank you for, like, which is good because I'm in
It's
this
programmed
state
now.
Yeah, which is good, but I also wanted to I always want to remain in a grateful state, but very conscious of what I'm grateful for, and not
So
just
like you're in a
kinda,
state of gratitude, but and you're conscious of it.
Yeah, exactly. So I need to kind of be more aware of that. Like last night, I kind of was in that space where I was like, I'm so grateful for just like my home, like. Like there's a lot of people who don't have a place to lay their head, and I'm very fortunate to have a place that we call home, and it's a comfortable space. There's a lot of things material things that I don't have in my home. Yeah. But taken outside of that, like, I'm so grateful for my home. Like, I'm so grateful to say that my husband and I have a place to stay. Like little
because
things.
there's some people are in their home. There's certain things like they may not have running water. They may not have gas. There are certain things that's missing. And when we talk about gratitude, like you literally have to be thankful for everything. Like when I say I'm thankful for things, like I'm thankful that I have hot running water. There's somebody out there that don't have that.
Yeah.
Like they can't even boil the water on the stove. Like, imagine taking a cold shower all the time.
Yeah.
You don't want to.
Yeah.
And we're so spoiled in that, and we don't think about those things.
That we
even
don't
when it
even
comes to
think
our
to be
senses,
grateful.
whether it's our mind, hearing, seeing, tasting. Somebody don't have that.
Yeah.
So you have to be grateful in every aspect. And like she said, I think being intentional. And obviously, you know, things happen in our lives, and we are not always happy. I think another thing with staying positive is that don't necessarily ignore the negative things that do happen. Address them, as we said before, but it's up to you to say, okay, if I'm
How you
gonna
gonna
sulk
take
in
them?
this,
Right.
how I'm gonna take it. Yes, this is happening, but guess what? That's out of my control, so I can't stress over it, and I gotta do this.
It's how you receive it. So for me,
Exactly.
a couple weeks ago, so I've said this before. My mom has really just always struggled with her health. You know, first she had polymyositis. So she's been sick for a long time. Like she's had this polymyositis. She had to have 2 tracheotomies. She's been on life support a few times. Then maybe a few years ago, she got breast cancer, so she had to have a mastectomy. I think it's called when they cut the breast off. So she had to take her breast off. And then recently, 2 weeks ago, we found out that she had liver cancer. And initially, I'm not like a big, like I'm emotional, but I'm not like emotional, if that makes sense. Like I'm not like the one that's gonna cry to somebody. Like I'm not really like I'll cry. Don't get me wrong, I'm a crier and I'm very emotional, but I'm not like I can't explain it. Like I'm not gonna call Tonisha and like just be
sobbing, and
that's just
we
not my.
talked that day, but she didn't call me.
Yeah, she just happened
I
to.
think our energies are in tune. Like we could be thinking the same thing or about to tell each other the same thing, and we'll contact each other at the same time.
for
That's
sure.
how hard or how high our frequencies as far as
Yeah, that's
energies
like
can tell each
literally
other.
once a day. I'm like, oh girl, I'm gonna text you.
And it's like the same exact thing. It's really weird. But something just told me to call her. And at first, I thought she was playing with me. And she's
'Cause
done
I'm
this to
always,
me
like,
a
just-
couple times,
yeah.
like where I'm like a nervous wreck and she's crying. I'm like, what's going on, Katia? Like, and so when she was crying and I'm like, I didn't like freak out. I was like, Mookie, are you being serious? What's wrong? Like,
Yeah.
stop. Like, what's
Yeah.
wrong? Like, I could tell, like, she was crying, but because she's played with me before,
I'll play
and
too.
I got all, like, super nervous and scared,
I'll
I
play
didn't
too.
know, but I didn't want to be like, bitch, is you playing?
Right. And it was like, and I'm not, like I said, like I'm really not, my mom's been sick for a long time, so to be
The stronger person.
the stronger person, but this time it really caught me off guard. Like when I was not expecting, I'm sorry, I don't get emotional.
You wasn't expecting that.
Initially when I heard it, I don't usually cry around my mom. Like I'm not like maybe a couple of tears, like a little here, but I'm not like But when she told me, I broke down because mainly for her, because I couldn't imagine, like, it's not easy to be positive, realistically. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
You have to intentionally decide that you want to be happy.
Right.
You have to decide that you want to have joy.
It's like an obstacle to overcome, especially if all you know is negativity.
It's easier to be negative than
or
it is
when
to
you're
be
kind of
positive.
programmed that way, because our minds are programmed that way.
Yeah.
And when you start thinking positive, your mind and your body thinks it's protecting you. Like, no, this is the way we think.
Exactly.
So that's what makes it difficult.
More challenging. Yeah, for sure. So anyway, like it's a challenge. I was just thinking for her, like, damn, like I couldn't imagine being able to say like why, like, so when I initially heard it, I'm just like I had to just walk away. Like I just walked out the house, and when Nisha called me, I was actually like sitting at the end of my block, like on the ground. Like I was just sitting and I was just sobbing and just kind of like, and like as I'm sitting there, at first I'm thinking like, what the fuck? Like this doesn't make no sense. Like we dealt with everything else, and then my brother dealing with his own health issues, and then me trying to, just like a lot. And then I just like, in that moment, like I think I sat on the end of the corner for maybe like a few minutes. And then I'm not even joking, like within this maybe say 8-minute period, I took myself from why to, okay, like this is what it is. And just like trying to see something positive out of it. Like what is this trying to teach us? Like what's the lesson to be learned here? It might not be like a huge lesson. Like I'm not about to be no cancer research person, but like, maybe it's just
What's to come of this?
Yeah, maybe it's just okay. Well, when I'm with my mom and when I do see her, maybe I need to be more present. Maybe we need to laugh more. Maybe we need to, I don't know, like just trying to see things in a more positive perspective than a more like, why me? Because it's like, why not you? Like, there's a lot of people out here that's getting sick, and it's like, what makes me and my family
different?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So being positive is definitely a choice. You have to choose to be positive. Like, just know that everybody is dealing with something. Everybody dealing with something.
Everybody's doing something.
That's another thing that about the positivity. Everybody's dealing with something.
If you can try and be there in whatever way you can. Obviously, there's nothing that I could say to her in that moment. There's necessarily nothing I could do in that moment to make her feel any other kind of way. But I would just like, I can only extend or show my love, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
support.
Then I just bought I went into the store and got a card and got her some flowers, and I just came over and told her that I loved her and I hugged her. Like, that's the only thing that I could do to say, like, necessarily, like, I'm here. I mean, because there's nothing you can say in that moment, but just like
It's
show,
an
like,
action.
Action.
When someone's going through something, sometimes there isn't anything you can say, but sometimes there's something you can do. And like, honestly, like, her doing that was, it was touching, because like, there isn't anything that she could say. Obviously I'm not saying that she can't say anything that make me feel better, because she could say something, and she, what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to like diminish anything that will come out of her mouth. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that like, a gesture when someone lets you know, like, I'm here, because like that gesture was letting me know, like, look, I'm here if you need me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I may not know exactly what to say, but just know that I am here. And those mean a lot of things. So I think also to keep yourself in a positive space, it matters about who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
And people who are willing to go that extra mile to show you that they are there to support you.
Because what I feel like in a sense is obviously, like, this, in a sense, it was like a low point, and her energy, obviously it wasn't up. She wasn't feeling good. But my thing was, I'm going to bring her these flowers. I'm going to bring her this card. It's going to show that I care her. And my main thing was like, it will probably bring a smile to her face. And I didn't tell her I was coming. I just showed up.
Yeah.
And I do pop up at her house. I haven't popped up at her house in a long time. But usually when I pop up, it's to bring her random things that I just think in my heart will like resonate in her heart, or make her feel some kind of way, and make her feel loved, make her feel happy.
You know who also?
That was my thing.
Savannah did that too. She didn't even knock on the door. She texted, she's like, I left something outside for you in your patio. So I went outside, and she had also left me like some, I still got the flowers.
Oh, that's where I was actually going to leave it right there, but I see y'all had a thing open. I said, let me just walk in.
Yeah, she put a card in and just basically said the same thing. I think it's just that right there, because sometimes like, I'm positive. Like, I really do try to see the positivity and everything. Like, my faith is strong, and like, I really do trust God through the process, but life is tough.
It is.
And it's very important that you surround yourself with people who really genuinely care about you, and who also share the same beliefs. I mean, I don't want to say beliefs because I mean beliefs when it comes to being positive, and when it comes to just seeing the positivity in everything and gratefulness. Because I have people that surround me, we don't all necessarily believe in like the same God, maybe. Mm-hmm. But when I say beliefs, I mean like beliefs with being.
It's really what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Like they get you where you are with your energy.
Like meet
with
me
your
where
mind.
I'm at.
Yeah, meet me where I'm at.
And I think like that helps you to get out of where like meet me where I'm at and be like, look, bitch, you ain't staying right here. Like, because sometimes we're not always strong enough to lift ourselves up. That's when we reach out to God. And I mean, and it's also good to have
God places people in your life to help pull you out of whatever. Like, hey,
yeah.
We're not about to do this today.
There's actually a scripture, I wish I would have my book, when it says that, like, sometimes God places people to do his work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I was at a low point, and thank God I had people around me who are positive and faith-driven people who could be like, okay, I got you. And not excluding my husband before anybody. My husband is always by my side, always encouraging me. So my mom ended up telling him before she told me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I guess to like, get him ready, like be ready for her. And when he said, hey, mommy, like, you talk to your mommy? I'm like, no, I ain't talked to her yet. Like, why?
Right.
Like, okay. So like, soon as my mom had got on the phone, like he came over, sat by me and like, comforted me and just like, and that's a hard situation because if you've never been in a situation like that, you don't always know what to say.
Right.
You don't
know how to react.
You don't know how to react. So he was also there and like comforting and supporting, and that little stuff matters. Somebody holding you, somebody being positive for you, like that is the way to stay in the positive space.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard when we went through when Frankie's mom passed. Remember I called you and told you like we were having like, it was like we weren't getting along in our household, and I told her, I was like, I don't know what to do because I feel like he's been like, I'm not being here for him,
right?
But I'm trying to
the best you know how,
the best that I know how. And I said I feel like he's going through something that he necessarily can't express to me,
right?
And it's like, I'm like, I don't know, like, what do you want me to do? I feel like I'm doing everything, and what do you want me? Like, I'm here.
Yeah.
And I think that my cousin gave me great advice. Like, you just keep being there, and know that it's what he's going through. And it's not you. And we had to get through that patch, and I had to let him know, like, look, I'm here, but I feel like you kind of shut me out and stuff. But obviously, I still have the baby in the house, we still have bills and everything. Everything still has to be taken care of, and that's another thing. Like when everything's going wrong, life is still moving. There's still bills, card bills. There's still everything else that you have to take care of, and it's hard when you're in that space because that's all you could think about. Or when somebody like that, like your mother, like your loved one, like how can you just try to focus on everything else and not that?
But that also, I feel like, is a testament to the relationship, because when you are in a situation, and I know this because my mom and my brother are both, dealt with health situations, and I am the closest most when it came to like, just like projecting.
Right.
And he was going through it, and it just sucks to say, but you are the one who gets, it's in that situation. It's like when you're trying to deal with your emotions, no matter what you could do, it's always like, it's not going to be enough.
Right.
Because he's just not, you're
not
just
in the right mind.
And I felt bad because Houston's got that a lot too. Like no matter what he said, it's like, you can't say that. You can't say that.
Don't you say that?
Yeah, so it's just, but it does make the relationship stronger. If you can get over stuff like that, you're just stronger. Stronger unit.
You're stronger. And whoever is going through it at that moment, they do get time to kind of,
you got it, huh?
I think, take a step back and kind of reflect. Obviously, he was down and out, so I had to lift us up. Yeah, but it's crazy because even when he was in pieces, like he was still holding me together. If that makes sense, like because we still had life going on. Yeah, and it's like
it's a team.
It's a team.
It literally is a team effort, and that's why it's so important for everybody on a team to share. And that's what goes back to me saying sharing the same values and the same beliefs, because he, no matter what, he knew that I still got to play my role and take care of my woman. Right. And he was like, he's down and out, and I got to be as strong as I can be for him, regardless of how I may feel emotionally in the situation. So it does make a difference. It makes a difference of like who you surround yourself with and where you are, because there's some people who like the whole misery love company thing is real.
It's true. It's really real.
And if I would have caught the wrong person in my time, they'd have been like, it's always something and da 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 da, and
like this again or something.
Yeah, so it's really important that you know who to contact. That's gonna feed your spirit. First and foremost, contact God, because that's who you should really.
Hallelujah.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all know me. Jesus.
Oh, I came across a video, and because we're gonna wrap this up, and it was he's a pastor now, but he was saying like how he was kind of like ratchet or whatnot. But when he got with his now wife, they made a decision that they were going to save sex for their marriage.
Mm-hmm. Pastor John Gray?
I don't think it was John Gray. It's like kind of like what we're talking about, like surrounding yourself with people. So he said, I think his parents went out of town, and his girlfriend at the time, like I said, which is now his wife, like she came over and they was in the house and they was by themselves. And they was on the couch together, and I guess, you know, feelings start to get, like, you know, crazy. He said he had told one of his friends, like, you know, like, I really love her, and this is going to be something, so we decided to wait to have sex. So he said his friend sees that both of their cars are there, but his parents' car is not there. Mm-hmm. He said, so the friend come knocking on the door, like, Sean, you in there? And he's like, no. I'm like, what the hell? And he was like, the friend goes around to the back door, like, bamming on the door. He not answering. He's like, the friends start quoting scriptures about like fornication and like, and your body is your temple. Yes, and he was like, huh? And he was like, being like, they didn't answer the back door. He said, so he went around to the other door, started bamming, like, I know you in there, like steady going off. He was like, so he finally opened the door, and he like, tell him like, that's what I'm talking about. But it's like, his friend knew that more, they by themselves.
When your flesh is weak, you need somebody that's gonna be like, look, that ain't the right choice.
And he was irritated. I'm like, damn, like, what is he doing here? But his friend knew what he had committed to. Like, you said you was gonna do X, Y, Z.
You need somebody, and you need people like that on your team to hold you accountable.
That's exactly gonna hold you accountable. It's gonna piss you off. You're probably not gonna like it in the moment.
I can't stand when he's gonna be like, oh, you gonna eat that? I'll take you on a diet.
She did that to me. We was at Chuck E. Cheese. I was like, cousin, don't eat that. She's like, don't tell me what's dope. Oh my God. I'm like, damn.
My husband asks me all the time, like, but you know, at the end of the day, sometimes you need somebody to check you, remind you of what you said you was gonna do.
So that's just it. Basically, you know, be grateful for the people that God places in your life that are intentionally looking out for you and your values, and you guys have the same core values, and they're trying to be there for you.
Let's let them know. Okay.
Cheers. Cheers to positivity.
Cheers to positivity. These y'all wedding glasses.
Somebody some real something else.
Happy Positive Wednesday.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Thank
Hope
you
this
so much
resonated
for all
with you
the
guys.
support.
Yeah, we
Our
really
family
appreciate
is growing, especially on Instagram. Like,
we really appreciate it.
Really appreciate you guys. Like, it really is exciting to see. You know what's crazy to me?
What?
This is effortless for us.
Thanks for coming to Cousin Chit Chat. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share. We really, really love when you guys comment. The last day, we love hearing back from you guys. We love interacting with you all. Just keep doing the same thing. We're going to keep on sharing and loving y'all.
We gon' bounce this out, what? We gon' bounce this out, what? One shoulder on the what shoulder? What's
Y'all don't know about that.
We too grown.
We gotta go.